So we're going to start here. Let me get back to our notes so this won't prolong and drag on. Where we stopped at, we was talking about patterns, Um, for me and for many others, once you get the awakening coming to what it is, uh, both spiritually, physically, naturally, it is not always obvious to those who don't know, but it becomes evident. But for those who do not know and just keep calling it patterns, it will be hard to recognize. It'll be subtle, sneaky. Like, take for instance my parent, maternal parent. She uses gossip as prayer, meaning she would tell the biggest fabricated lie on you, crying and ask for prayer. People would not look at the fact that it's being said out of jealousy or to silence someone, or they're being manipulated and deceptive. Here's the thing. They tell such shocking stuff to the point, especially if it's your child, to the point that the person they're telling it to, in their mind, number one, they're watching their emotions and tears. No, let me back all the way up. Number one, they're going to pick somebody that's easily manipulated, who's already hurt, who's being abused themselves. Oh man, I'm about to go on a tangent because I'm going to show you how they groom your friends and those around you. Make no mistake, your flying monkeys, those people around you who do their bidding, that protects them, they was hand selected, including your children. Oh man, let me hurry up with this because I'm about to go off on a tangent and teach you about 12 different things at one time. However, number one, they choose somebody that's easy, that's pliable. I have two first cousins now. I guess I'm just going off on this tangent. I have two first cousins now who think that they joined my parents' church on their own. One of them, God is my witness. I have probably, my oldest child will be 30. I probably haven't seen this particular cousin in 25, 26 years. All of a sudden they calling me. But watch your strategic God. Watch the method, the channel that they're coming through. These would call me through Messenger, send me things through Messenger. That number one lets you know we're not close. I said that for a reason. So if you haven't seen me in 25, 27 years, and here come my parent telling you I was a prostitute out in California walking the streets, let me tell you where they come from. I was walking down a highway because I told God, for him I live, for him I die, I'm not going back. That lets you know how determined I was to shut this thing down. I was walking on the 10. I didn't know where I was going. They went and told them because they see they can't silence me. They done sent cease and desist orders. I told them this morning, go get your restraining order. I'm going to keep coming. See, my parent knows exactly who I am. The ones around her don't because I was quiet. But those who really know me know that I get down, especially when it comes to my children. But anyway, this cousin started calling and sending me all these encouraging things. Hearts and, gifts, whatever, gifts, all those different things. Memes, and I'm just like, they ain't some idiots. But watch your God. When you press on the messenger, it'll take you to that profile. It immediately went to that profile, but they done joined her church. They really think they did that on their own. But I'm going to show you my strategic plan. I set all three of them up. But moving on. They're hand selected. It's easy for that lie to have been told because there's some in her family that does what she's claimed I was doing. But here's the thing. Well, I would never have a relationship with any of these people. I was with them more than I was with anybody. My mother had put out, I hate to call her that, put out, I'm a child abuser. I'm the one who kept every child that she brought into the house. I was the one babysitting their children. But all of a sudden, I'm beating on mine. Excuse me. Okay? Here's a sweet spot. My daddy was the buffer. He would let it go on so long because if you have a narcissistic mother and you're a female, you argue like you're. When I could remember, I was 8. Her favorite thing, won't you be more like the girl on the hill? I said, won't you be more like her mama? And I will. I have always talked to her like she was trash. Because I knew something wasn't right. Was I right? No, absolutely not. But that's where the conflicting came in where the Bible is concerned. Because that's what they started using, the spiritual ones. They said that covert narcissists are the dangerous. No. The narcissist is only dangerous when you don't know who they are, what they are, and how they move. They all move the same, still kill and destroy. I learned to read at 3, and my daddy taught me to read off the Bible stories. So I always had a love for God's word because I didn't know it then, but it was a source of comfort. And if you know anything about me, when I study, I just don't study. I have a dictionary, encyclopedia. That was then. You got it? But I still have my study tools. Here it comes. My mother, her favorite 2 things. One is this. Ain't no way I was talking to my mama like that. My mama was a piece of gold. When I talk to her, she knows nothing about her mama. She have to ask her sisters and those around her about her mama. That's number 1. Number 2. This is a whole sentence phrase is wrapped up into one. You're going to bust hell wide open. Who says that to their child? You're going to need me before I need you. All I do is sacrifice. And the stuff they call sacrifices, I almost curse, are the things they're supposed to be doing anyway. I'm 12 and you borrowing money from me. And I'm going to need you before you need me. I'm 12 and you trying to get my money. Why is it I'm 12 and I got money and you don't? You needing me at the age of 12. So when have I ever needed you? The outward appearance, all people know is toys, clothes, shoes, trips, bikes. Outward reflection of a good mother. They love you shortening your days. God's going to take your blessings away. I mean, and when I sit down, God is my witness. I have never, ever heard her speak without cursing somebody. I didn't say cussing, I said cursing. But here's the thing, everything she has ever said has returned. At the age of 84, I used to be so mad with God. How can you allow someone to live like that? And this was the thing, see, you live long when you do right. If you say that to somebody's children, and it's your grandmother, because children are instinctively thinking, okay, you're older than me. Let's get back to the word. The other one is, here comes the spiritual part. God said, honor your mother and father and obey them in everything you do. Oh, not only she said that, but those who she run with will come. Here's the thing. Put it in context. Who was God talking to? Because for me to lie for you, do your bid and protect you when you hurt somebody else, that is me putting you before God. You're not my God. All you was a conduit to get me in this earth so I could stop this thing. But before I was able to read it and understand it, I would just be quiet instead of talking back and talking trash to her. That took it as defeat. No. Put it in context. You know, when God is speaking with someone through man is a scribe. You're a walking, living epistle. He's talking to a distinct crowd. He was talking to the Israeli children, meaning they were supposed to already be following God. They was God's people. So when he said that, he was speaking of godly parents. You hear me? But as a child, you know that you're not supposed to have certain things said to you. And here's the thing about it. I don't want to talk to her like she's trash. My brothers, they're not my brothers anymore, my siblings. Everybody knows I'm wrong. But that's just the way she is. But I saw aligning the way she is up with every abomination God has. You bouncing and jerking and working for the church. You feeding your pastor more than you feed your husband. Some days he didn't eat unless he fed himself, but you over there using his money to feed your pastor and those around him. Oh, we got something for him. You over in my house causing destruction in my house when God said to stay in your own house. Ladies, I'm a witness. Stop the foot traffic in your house if you're married. I said it and I won't take it back. So that doesn't apply to me. The only honor I have for her is she got me in the earth. But I honor and love her enough to stay away from her. For my safety and hers. I said it. Because they so cruel, y'all. They're so demonic. It's ridiculous that someone could say that's how they are. But oh my God, your God said he sits in the heavens and sings over you and he's laughing at them. For he see that his day, her day has come. Can I encourage you? The day is here. We just spoke about it earlier. God's prophets are speaking. The warring prophets, the seers, those to come prophets, they're speaking the same thing. Well, I thought they said in the New Testament, God don't do no judging. You judge yourself. It's harvest time for everybody, whether those seeds was good or bad. That was for someone who's walking that spiritual healing of the spiritual narcissist. That's why it's wise to understand tradition, patterns, fruit. God said you should know them by their fruit. And let me encourage you again, if you still walking in some of that rotten fruit, he's going to dig it up. He said every tree I didn't plant, it got to come up out of you. And can I encourage you, you're not going in 2026 with a tree that don't belong to your God. That's good news. Why? Because you built a new family tree, or you're in the process of building a new family tree. Holy Spirit, keep me on task, because it's so spiritual to the whole point. If you really look at it, every wicked person that you could read about in the word was narcissist. Though they don't use that word, the only reason God gives us a word to use to call, because if it has a name, it has to bow. But for those of you who know exactly what that spirit is, people say, oh, it's the spirit of Leviathan. Oh, it's a Jezebel spirit. It is, oh, it's the spirit of Adam. No. It's the curse. No. It's legion, because where there is confusion, there's every evil word. And if you grew up in a narcissistic child, it was a war zone every night. I watched my dad deteriorate. I'll go back into that on the private sector. But let's get back to this thing. You will know repeated cycles. That's just the way they are. If you hear that word, check it. That's them not being held accountable, because that's just the way they move. You're gonna have to accept that the devil is a freaking liar. The devil is a liar, and everybody that stands around to pacify him. Yeah, I already told them that work with them. I have nothing for you. I'm not mad. I have nothing for you, because if you can't discern and you can't even pick fruit off an obvious tree, you can't be around me. I don't care who you are. I've cut my oldest out. I don't care who you are. I stay with you almost 3 years, and you have never seen me do any of these things. All you're going to do is take somebody's word for it just because of who they are. I don't want no relationship. Like I told her, if I have to have a relationship with other people to be acquainted with you, the demonic, they can keep it, and you know you can keep yours. God is my mother. He's your mother. You want to know why? That's why he says he's the many-breasted one, because he's going to take, while you out in the wilderness, he's resetting your health, he's resetting your mind, he's mending your heart, he's getting your body physically ready to carry out his will, he's getting your soul intact. He got to reparent you. I sat down one day and just was writing. Everything I learned in life, I learned from a man. I'm not trying to be vulgar here. When I got my cycle, it was my daddy. Bless his heart. There was some old diapers up in the cabinet. Listen, they were so old, y'all, that they was brown. My poor daddy got and put some safety pin. He did the best he could and laid a plastic bag on the bed. Why? My mother was in the club with her two nieces. I said it. And she had the nerve and thought she had the ability to trade out my life for hers. I had people calling me, you can't say this as much as weed, you smoke. Listen, I did. I was an amphetamine head. I ain't never smoked no weed. If you smoking, that's your business. What I'm saying to you is this. They have the ability to rewrite history. Listen for a while. How do you get them to stop? You snatch that pen out of their hand and get it out of yours and give it back to the author and the finisher of your faith. My mother is known for cooking. First time people ask when they see me if I was ever in the vicinity where she was. Can you cook too? She laughed, and then she thought I wasn't looking. She'll shake her head. No, baby, I can burn. Nobody knows anything about me, because I learned early on things that are precious and of quality and of value. I kept it hid. But before I figured out this thing was generational, people thought she had my children all the time. My children couldn't go to her house unless my daddy was there and their grandmother lived across the street. But you just assume because I'm the only girl and all that outer stuff, because they take credit for what you do. He said I could say it. I said it. Let's keep moving. Gaslighting make you doubt your memory, a perception of events. This is my maternal parent. This is her tactic. If you don't know my childhood nickname, and people back in Atlanta, they call me Princess. Princess, you remember we went here. That's meant to tear you down. And they'll start speaking in words, that stuff that don't make sense. Here's the thing about Princess. No, I don't remember that. It wasn't me. I went, ugh, and they'll get exasperated and look at the other person like you the liar. See, the other ones, they would give in and say, yeah, I remember, and they don't remember anything. Don't you know if you consistently say something over and over and you get enough people to say it, that's why it looks like the truth. But can I encourage you, the truth still loves light. Once that truth get light and start making love, it's nothing else that it could give birth to but exposure. It exposes you as light and them as darkness. But the gaslighting, that's where they got my children at. I had one that this was their favorite word. Talking about the baby girl. I never taken care of her baby. She was born in 2007. I didn't put him on child support in 2009. She heard everything my mother taught them is what my daddy's parents said about her. That's why it looks believable, because the people around you have seen it before. It's not you. And a lot of people will be like, well, she like that, so what? Why? And that's the thing. What tickles me about fruit. Like my mother, everybody crazy. Every female around her crazy except her. And people didn't, because they got it now. I made sure they got it. Who's the common denominator? Gaslighting is a tactic to make you think something happened that didn't, or something that tragically happened and they said it didn't. That causes traumatic stress. That causes PTSD. See, I made it look like that I had become like the other females. It was strategy, baby. I went inward. Let God do his thing. And when God said strike, I struck. It was years, y'all. Tap somebody, say, it's my striking season. But you only strike with what he gives you. The second thing they use is the silent treatment or emotional withholding. My children and those around them call it, she playing the favor right now, as though it's a game. See me, I've always called it out. That's why they didn't invite me to too many places. And when I ask people, can you please tell me why you never see me and my siblings, all of us in the same room like y'all as a family? They're like deers in headlights. And then they'll give me an example of a bad experience they've had with my mother. But you still gonna keep quiet and allow other people to get abused. I don't have anything for you either. The third thing is overstepping boundaries. They hate that. I was in my 20s and I shut the door on the room. I was helping my daddy with bills, and you got an attitude. And my biggest thing when this lady would go to the mailbox and open up my mail and talking about she thought it was how can an L look like an O? They feel like they're entitled to have a right to your information. The next thing, they withhold information. I want you taking all these down, and we're going to go in it on the third installment. Write this down: triangulation, involving others to create conflict and competition. God calls that stirring up strife, causing contention. It's an abomination. When you recognize these first steps, recognize these patterns and cycles, they're the first step to you breaking free. I've been broke free, but my love for my daddy kept me around. That's why she had to come in and wreck my marriage. Because people thought I confided in her. Never. Like I told her, I never liked you since I was a little girl. And if people would look back with it with righteous eyes, with righteous indignation, and take away the clothes and all that nonsense, I hate, especially cousins. You come telling me what a good relationship she and I have, how blessed. Baby, that's the worst thing you could do for me. But here's how I started handling that. Okay, cousin, blah, blah, blah. Tell me, other than toys, shoes, clothes, y'all going to Disney World because my daddy paid for it. Y'all going to Australia with us because my daddy paid for it. You going to Six Flags because my daddy paid for it. You got new school clothes because, listen at the key word, my daddy paid for it. What did you learn from her? They like deers in headlights. And then they'll come and give a bad experience with her. But again, recognize these patterns is the first step to breaking free. Awareness allows you to separate your reality from the manipulator's distorted version of it, if it happened or if it didn't. I spoke of the molestation and the rape and everything that occurred in my life and put my medical records out there for everybody to answer, including the nurse, who's so stupid, you guys, she sat down 2 cease and desist.